inspired. I'm inspired.
Hey there guys, how's it going? My name is Sumit Chatterjee from the Flow Zone Academy, and I'm a flow state coach, which means that I help you feel better and perform better. A little disclaimer before we start out. I want to just mention that I inform, educate, as well as entertain. Okay? Anything you do is all by you and your means, so this is just my perspective. Let's move forward. I want you guys to understand something. The idea of the MonoMyth, or the hero's journey. We all go on it in many times of our life. It might be the hero's journey, and then the king's journey, and then it can even go throughout the archetypes, right? You could have a magician's journey, you could have a jester's journey, whatever it is, right? So it's really up to you for your own character creation process, that you meet with the allies, you refuse the call in the beginning, then you meet the mentor, and then you go through this portal of conscious and subconscious, and you explore certain things and you take them, and then you evolve from them. Your boons, right? Your gifts. So understanding that, like the whole process of like being depressed, right? I've been depressed. Two main pinpoints of my life I remember a lot, and I had to climb out of there. And I noticed that with the dark night of the soul, there's always like a little springboard to an awakening that comes very close to it, right? It's like the pendulum swings this way, and it gives you some wisdom or something that you gained from going through that whole turmoil and that whole process. So depression is an inwards journey. I almost liken it to, Alice in Wonderland. Like you're going down this rabbit hole, right? And basically you're going with your gut instinct. Like you're just following the signs. You see this Mad Hatter who's a representative of psychosis, I think. And then this Cheshire cat who's like smiling and indicative of, well, Big Mouth used depression kitty. That kind of reminds me of that. However, it's just this whole topsy-turvy world where, numbers and language is still kind of, unique to itself, and it's very, it's a fantasy world, right? And I think it's very indicative of a place that we go to mentally, right? Where we stay there a lot of times. We don't want to get out of the amazing Wonderland world. Back into the real world, right? And that's where you get people like becoming bliss junkies and like trying to get to that state instead of actively understanding that you are embodying it with you every single day, right? Because the flow state is temporary. Think about this, right? It's a temporary state. But what we're trying to do is get to a level of mastery so that flow state is natural for you and it's second nature to you. Meaning it's just a part of you now. It's not separate from you. It's not an activity that you do, but it's a person that you be. Okay? So understand, once you're going on this hero's journey, this MonoMyth, this Alice in Wonderland journey, this Wizard of Oz, similar idea, right? Those are reference experiences, right? Those are reference experiences. They are now in your mind. And you're conceiving of it right now. So understand that whatever you are feeling right now is the state that is important. A decision can be made very fast when you understand. If you're at a calm state of mind and you make a decision, any decision will be the best decision in that moment. Just understanding that sets you free. It sets you free because you're like, hey, I just need to be calm and make a decision right now. If it's a bad decision, I'll learn from the mistake. And I'll gain a lesson from it, and it'll adapt my character and make it even stronger. And if I win, well, then I'm going to keep going, right? Because then it's like I'm like water, right? There's nothing that can stop me. Dodge through all the crevices and cracks and just make it out on the other side. That's what water does, So, if you are in that dark place right now, I completely understand. But understand also, it's a journey into your psyche. Right? If you're seeing a forest in your mind, well, that's your own mind. right? What is there in the forest? Are there lots of animals and beasts? That's your primal side, being shown through images. And this is why dreams are really important. This is why we got to understand, is karma real? And understanding that's a very important topic to consider, okay? I know I had a little bit of a video about it, but I want to get into it in more depth, as well as truly understanding the importance of communication, okay? Communication. Guys, do you know how important communication is, really, though? Like, we kind of just write it off, like, oh yeah, we're doing it all the time, so it doesn't mean it's important. It is the most important, in fact. It is the most important thing in your life, is having proper communication. But, for somebody who's not used to it, or not used to expressing themselves to another person and understanding their dynamics, it gets a little bit complicated, right? It's like I'm trying to share my planet with another planet, and we have two different temperatures, and we function in different ways, but we still are going to have to adapt and acclimatize to each other, right? And so there is this surrender process, right, when beginning a relationship, because you're like, I'm surrendering a certain aspect of all of me, because my partner might not accept all of me, right, in a sense. So you're acting like, I'm only going to show them my best cards in the beginning, and then as we evolve through the journey, then I'm going to tell them that, I messed up in this area of my life. And when I was 12, and then this happened, and, then the trauma start coming in, but it's like that level of trust, to really be like there for another person, and be like, yo, I'm going to hear you out. If you're going to vent to me, I'm going to hear you out. Right? Like, I'm not going to just shelter myself every time that I feel uncomfortable with this, because this is another level of my growth. The thing that we want to walk away from the most, that's the thing that we need to kind of figure out how to do, right? And push ourselves. Because we know it's going to be just so important for us. But it's like this thing that keeps pulling us back into the old self, right? That's the thing. That's the mechanism that I want to break right now. By understanding that your past is just simply memories, okay? They're memories and stories that you've told yourself, and so you're repeating them in the now, in the current now storyline, as that. But you can go back to the thing that happened and reframe it to make it much more empowering for you. Just let it bounce you into another frame, another world, Just let it bounce you like a pinball, Just like boing, like seriously be able to play, Be seriously able to play. You're playing, but you're serious about it. You're playing, but you're serious about it. Okay? So if you're unlocking your chakras from within, you're going towards liberation. But if you're trying to manifest, you're going to take it from there and trying to, bring it back into the body, embody the reality, basically, to root it down, right? So these two mechanisms are happening. So you might be just liberating and then manifesting, and then liberating and then manifesting, We are these receivers and these givers, so understand that. Understand the frequency you're giving out and what someone is going to get from your energy. What does your energy describe? What does your energy really epitomize? Like, if you had to epitomize your vibe, your energy, what would that energy be like? Would it be like a cold, soft drink on a nice summer's day? Or would it be like a warm beverage on a very cold snowstorm day? Like, figure out your vibe. Figure out the aromas, figuring out all of the little details of your visualization of your life. Because only then will you start to lean into some of these theories that will actually reveal to you your next steps. You get what I'm saying? So, really start to understand, when you are depressed, it's not about like staying there, it's about trusting in the process and like exercising and knowing that you gotta eat right and knowing like you gotta do all of these things. And it's like baby step it, but then also accelerate yourself towards the grand vision, away from the wonderland, but creating your own wonderland in your own mind. Okay? That's the process. You're gonna have to recreate that old wonderland that you were just thrown into, and instead create the wonderland of your own imagination and your own mind that will actually get you to be like Neo in the Matrix, to follow the white rabbit, you know, and get the code and in the end and understand what the system is doing to you, okay? Have an amazing day. May the flow be with you and stay legendary. See you next time. Boom.